Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Spectrum Drama, where we take a look at the hottest posts on Spectrum for the week and give our opinions on them. Okay, so first up we've got a post from Driftwood Badger, and it says, "I'm sure glad I ignored the hype and kept my Carrack." So basically this is a post about the Odyssey, and how everyone was kind of touting it as the Carrack Killer. And
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, of course, everything's a this killer or that killer until it actually comes out and we realise, oh no, it's not. Yeah, Driftwood Badger basically is glad he kept his Carrack because it appears that it isn't even much of an exploration vessel. It's sort of more general purpose expedition is what he says. Yeah, it's funny, this always happens, you know, people kind of look at the spec and kind of speculate about how good a ship's going to be until we kind of get the actual nuts and bolts of it, and then we realise, oh okay, no, it's just another ship.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't really understand his point about it's not an explorer ship, but it is an explorer ship. The thing can basically refine its own quantum fuel.
Yeah,
that's a big wing for an explorer ship. Yeah, it can't do the jump point mapping as well as a Carrack, but it has other things it can do, and it's actually better looking than a Carrack. Can I say that? Is that allowed?
I'll allow it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, I don't know. People always got to have some form of like a fight between these ships. That's kind of, you know, the guarantee is always that people are going to put one ship against another, even if they're vastly different or exactly the same. They'll always try and fight them against each other. I love the fact that, yeah, he does say it can only mine quantanium, nothing else, and it can only use it for fuel for itself. And you think, well, yeah, exactly what you said. If it can mine its own fuel, then that thing can explore till the ends of time. It's quite literally the definition of an exploring vessel, so that is quite funny. Yeah, it's such a strange point to make, but yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I mean, we're always trying to sort of like pit these ships together, you know, like a head to head, but in reality the idea is that they all kind of slot in where they're needed. And so, I mean, all right, fair enough, if they're it's more of a rival ship, then yeah, fair enough, you're gonna put them against each other. But I think that when it comes to exploration vessels, they're all going to have their own niches, their own kind of way of getting around the verse. They'll all be a bit more unique, you know, and it will be down to the manufacturer as to what that ship is likely to do, if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see why we need to worry about it killing any ships, to be honest.
No, it definitely doesn't kill anything. Like you say, it's got different aspects to it as opposed to what the Carrack's got. You just got to pick which flavour you prefer. Yeah, I personally would probably go with the Odyssey because I think it looks cooler, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think that's basically what it's going to come down to. You know, if you want, you know, a Carrack, fair enough, but if you want a ship that, I think you're right, does just kind of just peaks it a little bit in looks, then yeah, the Odyssey's a pretty cool ship.
I still don't really understand this mentality of you know, trying to work out which ship is better than which ship, sort of thing. Can't we just have a bunch of ships and you use the one you like? Why does there have to be this kind of meta mentality of I need the best guns on this, I need this shield generator, you know, that sort of mentality? I just wish gaming in general, not just Star Citizen, just in general, gaming was pushed away from that. I don't know how that originally started. I guess it started from like RPGs, you know, MMOs sort of thing. WoW and stuff, you know, you gotta have the best weapons and all that shit.
Yeah,
and it just kind of cascades into everything now. And you know, if you're flying a Mustang, people look down on you. Look at that peasant. You know, no, maybe he just likes that ship.
Yeah.
What's your problem?
It is mad. I mean, that is where it sprung from. I remember the days that started happening in WoW where people started worrying more about numbers than anything else. And so
Gear score.
yeah, your build suddenly became, is your build 3067? Because if not, you're not good enough. And you're like, but I'm really good at what I do. The numbers are just, they're just numbers. And I think that we have, like you said, that has been taken on by every single game, or not necessarily the game manufacturers, but every single gamer that plays a game. They've always got to find the numbers behind the meaning to everything, rather than, like you say, just going, I really like the Carrack. It's an awesome ship, so I'm going to stick with the Carrack. Why do you need to have the best of everything? Just have the one you like the most and be done with it. Cool, so next up we've got a post from Sada, and it says, the hire an escort narrative is dumb and will never happen. You will never hire random pilots to protect you if you're hauling something valuable. So he's got here in quotation marks, just hire an escort. And he says 99% of players will never work as an escort, and I beg to differ, because I have actually worked in real life as an escort. The ladies loved me. But anyway, yeah, working as an escort, hiring people to escort them around the verse, that sort of stuff will never happen, according to Sada. He says here, people will scout with alts. Anyone escorting something will end up having whatever ship they are escorting being killed far before you can protect it, blah, blah, blah. But once again, we're kind of putting the cart before the horse, is that the saying? Because this isn't functional yet, if that makes sense. It's there, but it's not fleshed out yet, and eventually this will probably be something which people can make a lot of money doing and will be really useful for people who need it. So I don't see why it would never happen.
Yeah, I disagree that it would never happen. Quite a few of his points I don't really agree with. But as far as I'm aware, there's going to be some sort of guild type thing. You're going to be able to get your reputation up, and people can see your reputation for doing escort work, or whatever you want to call it. That sounds a bit dodgy now you've come up with your past jobs.
Sorry.
So that kind of gameplay will factor in to a certain type of player, just because Sada doesn't want to do it, and probably a lot of people don't want to do that. That's fair. Whatever. Mm-hmm. But there's probably a lot of people that will be up for that. People will scout with alts. There's a point here he makes. People will scout with alts. Who's playing this with alts?
Sad people. Sadder.
Seriously. What have you got? 2 rigs set up. You've got 2 sets of sticks and 2 keyboards and 2 computers running. Because most people's computers can't run this game, just one version of it. If you're trying to multi-box it, that's madness. How can you control 2 alts at once?
I could just picture him like going backwards and forwards between desks on a little spinning, like, fast wheeled chair.
Yeah. Like, dude, come on, get a life. Just play the game. Why have you got to have 3 characters? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, people do it though. I mean, it is mad, but people actually do it. And you just think, why?
Oh yeah.
Just play the game once, enjoy it. Be your own character.
In some games, like Eve, for example, multi-boxing is a thing, and you can actually do it in Eve because you're not controlling every minute little detail of your ship. You just click where to go, and it goes and does it. But in Star Citizen, I just don't see how you're going to do that effectively. No,
I don't think that's physically possible. It would be too complicated to try and run 2 ships at the same time, or or if you're going to scout, then fair enough, maybe you could do it whereby you take out your scout vessel, and if it gets lost or whatever, it's just a cheap ship maybe, and it saves the other people, your big ships from getting mangled. But I mean, if that is the way you're going to play this game, then I'm sad for you. Where's the enjoyment in that if you're going to take the thrill out of the journey you're about to do by doing it first with no risk? What's the point? Just don't play it. That's just
so attached to the digital pixels. Blows my mind sometimes.
Yeah, people are strange, man. There's a brilliant comment actually underneath from Voodoo who basically says, I didn't join an organisation to do things for free. Escorts will be from, you know, from your org, people you've met, blah, blah, blah. And that's true. And like you said, I mean, there'll probably be whole organizations maybe that pop up that just do escorting, you know, all the things, all the menial tasks that you don't want to do, or you don't have the means to do yourself, and you do need another pair of hands. There'll probably be a whole org that just specializes in lending that hand, you know. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a thing, and it's going to be a useful thing, I reckon.
Yeah. There will be far too many cargo ships in game for people to all hire an escort. I wouldn't really bank on that one either.
No.
I mean, let's be real. You're only going to get a cargo ship out when you're transporting cargo. Most of the time, you're going to be in a cutty or freelancer or single seat fighter ship doing whatever you want to do. Only real dedicated cargo haulers are going to be in their cargo ships 24/7, and even then the big ones are going to need some crew in it, or NPCs or AI blades or blah blah whatever. And they're going to be affiliated with some kind of org, and they're probably going to have some backup anyway. So his last point, you know, if you're transporting something that's valuable, you're likely going to be in an org and not paying anyone for their service. Well, again, like our first comment just underneath the main post here, that's bullshit, because even though you're in an org, you're not going to be doing stuff for free all the time. You want a slice of that pie that you're helping to transport. Otherwise, how are you going to pay your fuel bills?
I mean, and the thing to bear in mind is that you know, that the escorting options, the scouting options, all these things, they will eventually become a bartered trade. So you will put out to the masses, I need someone to come and do this thing for me, and then someone might come back and say, yeah, I'll do it for, I don't know, 5,000 credits, and then someone else might come back and say, I'll do it for 4. You know what I mean? And that is probably how you're going to get decent pricing. Whereas people in your org are probably going to be like, yeah, I'll do it, but I'll do it. They know exactly how much you're actually getting for what you're, you know, what you're doing. So they could probably literally take 20% of your entire income from it, you know. So there are going to be benefits to having some mug come along and you know, desperate needs money, you know, and doing it for cheap. So cool. So next up, we've got a post from Penguin, and it says Star Citizen and the EAC in live. So basically, if you're unaware, as most people will be aware now, but if you're unaware, the newest patch and the newest release has brought easy anti-cheat, which is now implemented into the game, which will prevent people from using exploits and basically being dicks, stop cheaters and all that kind of stuff, which is very, very good for the game, but has impacted some people's playing. So there's been some problems generally with like one of the biggest orgs apparently has been essentially blocked off from playing the game. People have had their mapping for their joysticks caught as an exploit, and so they can't play the game, or they'll have to play, you know, with some other means, or you know, stuff like that. But then there's a whole rant about Linux and how, you know, easy anti-cheat doesn't like Linux. Well, Linux is awesome if you're trying to hack someone, but if you're trying to be a gamer, buy a Windows PC, you weirdo. I'm gonna get so much hate from the Linux community, and I'm only joking, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get the frustration if for people that are playing on Linux, that it's probably not the greatest thing for them. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you, I mean, yeah, get a Windows PC. Come on. Yeah, he also claims there's a slew of new bug reports coming off of this, where easy anti-cheat is causing problems. I mean, we haven't experienced any yet. We'll keep our eyes open. No one in our Discord has reported any issues, as far as I'm aware. So, okay, I'll take your word, I guess. Yeah, the game is early alpha. Does it need an anti-cheat? No, it doesn't. But CIG have gone for this because too many people have been complaining about it. Have you ever seen a cheater, a hacker in Star Citizen?
No. I mean, I've seen money exploits before, you know, which, let's face it, doesn't affect anyone other than that person and his immediate friends. Woohoo! But no, never come across anyone who I felt was cheating. No. Most people just kill me because I'm shit.
Or maybe this is a bigger problem in other territories like America. I'm not sure. But on the EU servers, we've never experienced any kind of hacking going on.
No.
Yeah, I can't really say much more than that. And his last point was about the key bindings. I mean, yeah, I get it. You want to use the exact same bindings that you've got from another game, I guess. I'd be interested to know what other game has the exact same controls as Star Citizen.
Yeah. I've never met one with so many controls.
No, there's so many buttons in Star Citizen. I don't know how you figure that one out. Yeah. And if the anti-cheat is causing a problem with your key bindings, then dude, just suck it up and put your key bindings in Star Citizen.
Yeah.
I get it's probably an annoyance for you, but just get over it.
Yeah, I think that's the long and short. That's the too long didn't read for this, is get over it. You know, it's been implemented because they obviously need to test it, because eventually it's going to have to be in the game, because this is a massively multiplayer online game full of very nice people and a small contingent of dicks. And, you know, those people are going to ruin it for everyone else. And so they need to have this kind of thing in place. Definitely too early, way too early to have this in. But like you said, people were moaning. CIG do not like moaners for a start, but also if those people moaning happen to be in the inner circle, then CIG will listen to them, and that's obviously what's happened. Yes, it's frustrating to have problems, and yes, of course there's going to be a slew of bug reports because it's a brand new feature that's just been brought into the game. We get that with every new feature that comes in this game. You know, it is what it is. But I think that it is a necessary evil that we're going to have to come to terms with. And yeah, like you said, if you're having problems with your mapping at the moment, then you're going to have to just be a big brave boy and figure it out.
Yeah, me saying that, you know, we haven't experienced any hackers or cheaters in the EU servers doesn't mean they're not out there. There may be people out there. Why anyone would want to hack or cheat in an alpha game is literally going to blow my mind to work that one out. But maybe they exist. I guess they do. If people are that kind of complaining about it. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, in the EU, it doesn't seem to be a big problem.
No, never noticed it. It must be our British stiff upper lip or something. Perhaps we don't notice it because we're like, we're too busy eating scones and like, what else? What's another English trait that people assume we do? And drinking tea. Drinking
tea with the pinkies up.
That's kind of true. I do drink tea, and I do like to raise my pinky every now and then. But yeah, I think basically the long and short of it is it's there, so make the most of it, deal with it, you know, and hopefully those people who have been having never-ending problems with cheaters and exploiters, it will help them out, you know. Bloody whingers. And speaking of whingers, our next post is from Xdmcx. I'm sure you don't want me to say the X's, but I will, because you wrote them. Everything is broken. I'm writing these things knowing that everyone's experience is different and unique, like a snowflake. And that some of you probably never encountered these issues. These issues are regular occurrences for me and make it nearly impossible to make any UEA PC or complete any missions. I'm going to stop there because he is literally preaching to the choir. I've never bothered trying to make money because everything's broken, but you know, it's always been that way. It's an alpha. Things break, things get fixed. There is a very long list of things that are broken for him. So let's get through the process of elimination. If these things are broken for you, Carrack, are you ready? Because you play this a bit more than me. So
go for it.
In at number 1, bounty markers are not updating after flying to their location. Makes it impossible to earn any money from these missions.
I don't know. don't do bounty missions.
No,
I haven't done them for about 5 patches because what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's really no point. NPCs teleporting all over the place and one-shotting players.
Maybe.
Kind of.
Don't know. I've never seen that one.
I've seen NPCs glitching, but never teleporting all over the place. I mean that sounds like some sort of a server-based problem you've got going on there, my friend. Constantly abandoning missions due to these issues gives the player negative rep. Yeah.
Okay. Again, doesn't really matter that much.
No.
In an alpha game where this is just a test bed, it doesn't really matter that much.
No.
But yeah, that could be annoying. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Mining, I mean, we're just going to skip past that because it's, you know, it's always been buggy. A lot of rocks aren't scannable. Yeah, true. Entire belts are missing. Rock minables not spawning. Blah, 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 blah. Delivery missions. Box markers not updating, enabling them to be picked up and placed on a ship. That is true.
I haven't had that in 3.15, actually.
Actually, I can't say I've actually tested much in 3.15, so I'm going from old builds.
Entire collection box disappearing from the ship. No, never had that one.
Never seen that, ever. Constantly abandoning missions, again, negative, blah, blah, blah. Trading. Unable to fill larger haulers with enough meaningful cargo in order to make it a meaningful risk-reward game loop.
Well, they're working on cargo now, so...
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What's that? Unable to sell even small quantities of drugs at any location, creating a mini-game of who's going to catch the server tick first.
Well, yeah, I mean, isn't that kind of realistic? No?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't expect to fill up your connie full of drugs and then offload it all in one go. I mean, that's just not realistic, is it?
No. I mean, maybe there'll be the odd place where, you know, larger haulers can go, but and maybe sell in larger quantities, but they'll get less. I don't know how they're going to do it, to be honest, but that does make sense to me. I don't really understand. Ships exploding for no reason or hitting station city outposts, invisible structures or boundaries. I mean, not for a very long time have I exploded for no reason. No,
there was a kind of period where you would go into atmosphere and just randomly explode for no reason. But yeah. Again, I haven't had that for a couple of patches now, so yeah, take his word for it, I guess.
So it says basically, I'm trying to understand how a player is meant to survive under these circumstances, where you are constantly dying and losing gear and AUEC to no fault of their own. I mean, I would say, my friend, you need to go through the checklist of things to do before you go on to Spectrum, which is, you know, have you done the things like deleting certain folders, you know, and, you know, maybe even try verifying your game files. If worst comes to worst, try reinstalling the game. Do things first to make sure. Don't just sort of play it and assume that the game itself is broken. Maybe assume that there's something possibly wrong between you and the game. I don't know. Because, I mean, yeah. You look at all the problems you had, those weird and wonderful bugs that no one else had. You got a brand new PC, gone.
Yeah, it's never run smoother than it has on my new rig. Yeah. Considering all the problems I had on the last rig, it was ridiculous. It was yeah. Borderline unplayable. But now, no issues at all. So yeah, maybe it is something on his end. A few of these could be desync or something. Yeah, actually, most of the points he's made could be down to server connection problems.
Yeah, logically, if you go through this list, most of these issues could be down to, desync with the server, causing things like NPCs to teleport, you know, like feeling like you've been one-shot, but you probably haven't been one-shot, you've been shot multiple times, you don't know it because of a desync/lag type situation. So there are a myriad of reasons why this could happen, but definitely do some troubleshooting your end as well, you know, and if you have, post it here, let us know what you've tried, because it'd be interesting to read and see if you tried all the myriad of things that Carrack tried when he was having problems like this. And if all else fails, buy a $3,000 PC and all these problems go away.
Yeah, it's the only solution with Star Citizen. Just throw more money at it.
More money. Okay, so last up we've got a post from the Batman Who Laughs, and it says the 18 elephants in the room. So there's a little excerpt here. There are about 18 100-meter plus ships still pending, while delivering only 2 to 3 a year. What is your plan to get these to us in a timely manner? And if timely is not possible, why add so many large ships to the pipeline? There was basically looking for questions section. And he's put here, adding so many ships is not a development problem to solve like server meshing, it's a choice. So basically, I think the gist of this, what the Batman Who Laughs is getting at is, rather than just constantly announcing these massive ships and then perhaps taking 8 years to be developed, you know, actively work on a ship, get it to the point where it's almost ready, then announce it, kind of thing. So, you know, there aren't so many ships that aren't ready. Does that make sense? I think that's gisted well enough.
Yeah, that's basically the short version. Do you agree with him?
I do, 100%. I've always moaned that I actually, when I first read this, I thought this was going to be a post more akin to something I would write, which is having so many massive ships. We're talking like big money ships and all that kind of stuff in the game. So many of them it doesn't feel like development anymore of a game, if you know what I mean. It feels like it is just money grabbing because they know that people will buy them and there's loads of money to be made. I thought that was the route we were going, and it surprised me in the route we actually took. But I do 100% agree. I know they have to drum up some business, but you know, maybe only make us wait 6 to 8 months, but not, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7 years or whatever it's been for some of these ships.
Yeah, I see the point. It's never going to happen.
No,
but I see the point. So he, at the top of the post, he's kind of brought up the Idris and the Merchantman. We know the Merchantman's being worked on now, and he's due out next year. The Idris is in the game. We can't fly it, but it's in the game.
It exists. Yeah,
it exists. Same with the Javelin. It's in the game. They've probably been developing that for Squadron 42. But we can't fly it yet. Whole series has been worked on. The Orion is not needed right now. No rush for that.
No.
Genesis would be cool for people that want to transport people around.
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't really need any new gameplay either, does it? Crucible, yeah. Could do that one. Endeavour, don't need it. Polaris, don't need it.
Definitely don't need it, because I know one person who is literally jizzing in his pants for that ship. Good old Harv. So yeah, in fact, scrub the Polaris.
Screw you. Take that one out. Ignore that one. Yeah, I get the point. I do. But we know it's never going to happen because CIG need to make money. Otherwise, this just all goes down the toilet.
Yeah.
And how do they make them big bucks? By selling big ships. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I think they pull one out every year. Usually they brought 2 out this year, and they got Liberator and the Odyssey.
Yeah.
So they're going for the big bucks this year. But yeah, it's just the way their funding model works. As much as we bitch and moan about it, and me myself have bitched and moaned about it many, many times, it's just not going to change.
Yeah. It is what it is, basically. I mean, you know, if we're not used to it by now, we'll never be used to it. And you're only going to get more and more frustrated with this game. I think we just have to get used to it. I mean, on the point that he's making, you know, which is to, you know, if you aren't ready to actively start working on a ship, don't announce it. I do agree with that to a degree.
Yeah.
Because I do think that people wouldn't be so angry if they only waited 1 year or maybe 2 years. But when you get to the point where, you know, you're 6 years down the line of giving them money for a JPEG, and then, yeah, 6 years down the line, you're still not sitting in that ship, I would have refunded it by now. I'm too impatient for that shit, you know, so I can kind of see his point in that respect.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's true. like we've said this many times before. They got to work through that backlog of ships at some point. So yeah, difficult kind of position really for CIG. They need to keep churning ships out to fund the development of the game, but at the same time, they know that they're putting people's dreams on hold for a few years while you wait for your ship to come out. It's a dodgy one, as is everything with Star Citizen.
Yeah, should be the tagline. Dodgy.
But yeah, let us know in the comments, guys. What do you think about this? Should CIG stop releasing or announcing big ships until they've worked through the backlog? Let us know.
Yeah. And are there any ships on this list which you would bite someone's arm off to get? I know. There's a few people I know who are very impatiently waiting for some of these. So yeah, be interested to know. Okay, so there you have it, everyone. That is all the posts for this week. We hope you liked them. We hope you found them informative and amusing. And if you did like them, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Star Citizen content. And don't forget to jump into that comment section. Let us know your thoughts on these posts and let us know which massive ship you're waiting for. And apologies if we've rambled a bit. It's been a while since we've done one of these videos, so we're a bit excited and we had a lot to say. So yeah, don't forget to check us out on a Thursday for our streams. Yeah, we should have videos coming out on a Monday, which will be a yellow alert. We do occasionally have to miss them if there's not enough posts, or if unfortunately I have massive problems with my insert a device that's broken this week. I've been having a lot of problems, but yeah, hopefully we'll be sort of easing back into at least a weekly video, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And I think that is pretty much it. So thanks everyone very much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye bye.